Let's see, what am I missing here? Oh yeah. Hat, check. Sunglasses, check. Pepsi, check. Notes, check. Sources, check. And thick skin, check. Let's go. Welcome back to Going Unbloated, everybody, and all we do here is college football. So if you're a college football fan, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. And as always, feel free to send gear to represent you and your team. Look around. That's what my background is made of. So if you want to be a permanent part of Going Unbloated and my background, send gear to represent yourself and your team to P.O. Box 360, Liberty, South Carolina 29657. Well, the Big 12 is doing something very, very interesting. So there's going to be 2 years where the Big 12 is actually going to have 14 teams. 2023 and 2024. That's after BYU, Cincinnati, UCF, and Houston join the league, but before Oklahoma and Texas leave the league. What are they trying to do? Well, they're trying to set up matchups to where these certain matchups are guaranteed to get played twice before Texas and Oklahoma leave. Why they're doing this, not quite sure. I mean, some of it makes sense, especially whenever it pertains to Oklahoma and Texas, but the rest of it really doesn't, because the rest of the teams are going to play each other unless they're anticipating other teams leaving in the future. Didn't think about that part, did we? So the Big 12 wants to make sure that the following matchups, the matchups I'm about to go through, get played twice before Oklahoma and Texas leave. The first one is Kansas and Kansas State. Now, these are natural rivals. They play every year anyway, so why do they have to make sure that they're going to have to play twice the next 2 years? And I talked about yesterday in my live show that Kansas could be eyeing the Big Ten. They're pouring $300 million into renovations of the football facilities. And whenever Oklahoma and Texas announced that they were going to SEC, it was rumored that the Big Ten was eyeing Kansas as a possible addition to the Big Ten. This was before UCLA and USC was announced to go to the Big Ten. Is Kansas still on the radar of the Big Ten? And the Big 12 is trying to maximize that rivalry. That does make sense, because if neither one of those teams are going to leave, then why do they have to make sure that that game gets played twice before Texas and Oklahoma leaves? I'm just putting out my 2 cents. Maybe it's a bunch of nothing, but it really doesn't make sense if those 2 teams are going to stay in the league. Next one is Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, aka Bedlam. This one makes sense, because we know for sure that Oklahoma will be leaving the Big 12 to go to the SEC in 2025. This series has been confirmed to be over once Texas and Oklahoma leave. So yes, this game right here needs to be played twice next 2 years before Oklahoma and Texas leave. That's a no-brainer. So I can go along with that one. The next game is Texas and Texas Tech. This also makes sense because we know that Texas is also leaving for the SEC in 2025. This is a very entertaining matchup. So I'm very glad to see that they're making sure that this gets played at least 2 more times. Now this matchup has led to epic memories. A lot of offense, a lot of last minute plays to lead to wins, and a lot of these have come at the expense of Texas. Maybe that's why I love it so much, but still a very entertaining matchup. I mean, they just had another great one in Lubbock. Next one is Baylor Tcu. This is another head scratcher because, to my knowledge, nobody has confirmed that either of these 2 teams could be leaving the Big 12 anytime soon. So why are they making sure that these 2 teams absolutely play each other in the next 2 years? Now, I like this matchup. It's always guaranteed to have a ton of offense, so it's a very entertaining matchup. And there's an extra layer to this rivalry. I don't know about you, but 2 religious schools going at it on the gridiron, that's always entertaining. So I'm for this, but why are they making sure that this game gets played twice before 2025? That's the biggest question, I guess. The next game is Cincinnati, West Virginia. Another game that you're like, well, I understand that this could be a great game, but why are they making sure that they play each other twice before 2025? Now, for Cincinnati and West Virginia, these are 2 former Big East foes. But West Virginia did own Cincinnati when they were both in the Big East. Having said that, that was then and this is now. West Virginia not quite as good as what they were, and Cincinnati much better. So I don't think West Virginia is going to own Cincinnati in the Big 12. I really don't. This is going to be a great matchup. It's one of our closest travels, so at least I might be able to go to some road games at Cincinnati. That's a plus. So yeah, I like the fact that they're making sure that these 2 teams play each other twice before 2025. But then again, why? Is one of these teams leaving for another conference? That raises that question, yes. The next game is Houston and UCF two new members from the AAC. These two teams know each other very, very well. They're coming from the AAC. They play each other pretty much every year. Very entertaining games. And you throw in the fact that they're usually high-scoring games. Yes, I'll take it. The question is, will Dana Holderson still be the head coach of Houston once Houston does make their debut in the Big 12? I really hope so, because I really want West Virginia to get one beatdown on Dana Holderson before they fire him. Keep him for one more year. Please, Houston, keep him one more year. He deserves at least one beatdown from West Virginia. But it goes back to the question, why are they making sure that these two teams play each other twice before 2025? Really head-scratching when you think about it. Finally, the last matchup, Iowa State, BYU. These two teams have absolutely zero history, well, to my knowledge. I guess they're just the odd teams out. Why not, right? Why not? Could be fun, could be entertaining. Both of these teams, I will say this, they do have something in common. Both of these teams have excellent home environments. I'm guessing it's just because they're the odd teams out, but it could be because they both have great home environments. BYU has a great home environment, one of the best in all of college football, and Iowa State has one of the best home environments in the Big 12. So that's a good pairing, but I think they were matched up because they were the odd teams out. So y'all let me know in the comments section, why are they making the teams not named Texas and Oklahoma play this certain team that they're having them play twice before 2025? Absolutely making sure, unless there's other conference realignment coming that we don't know about. I'm just saying that's the only thing that makes sense to me. And do you like these matchups? Do you like the matchups that they've chosen to make sure it gets played the next 2 years? That's all I got for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next show.